Good morning, traders. Welcome to the TMT Stock Market Strategy video for Thursday, April 27th. All right, guys, not much to talk about yesterday. Price action really was subdued. We did trade within the range of the previous day, so not much. Very, very quiet. That's to be expected when you have a big gap up like we did on Monday from the French elections over the weekend. So we want to really start looking and see and to make sure that price is telling us what the real true picture is, right? Because there's a lot of shenanigans that go on behind the scenes, if you will. Everybody knows that. We all know it. We all know that the portfolio managers, money managers, are extremely long this market and making sure that the retail public gets long up here so they can get out of their stock, and that's what's happening now. We don't know for sure about the fifth wave, all right? We don't know if this is the start of the fifth and final leg of this bull market that we've had since 2009. It still needs a little bit more evidence. More than likely, we're probably going to fill that little gap and then resume its uptrend. That would conclude, or I should say, that would give me more evidence to say that we are indeed on our fifth wave, okay? I wouldn't say conclude, but we're not ready. We're not there yet. But that is what we're looking for now. This is one of my favorites off of our model. I want to show you the NYUD with the S&P cash. You can see that was that bull flag that we were looking at here. Look at the challenge of the all-time highs. Okay, we're almost there now. Look at what's going on with this NYUD, this advanced decline with volume. We got a nice big pop up here during the election. Okay, now that's to be expected. That is something you want to look at. But we end up making a lower high here, okay, when we pull back a little bit. And then this pop-up, we did not even get even close to this area, all right, and we made another lower high. Then we made another lower high here when we had that small little rally. And now we're just barely above the zero line. And now we're challenging the highs, going higher. Internally, the markets are not supporting what price is doing. Internally, very important here. That does not mean you short the market and you trade from the long side. What it means is that this rally, more than likely, will be short-lived, okay, unless we get internals starting to pick up steam, or we get another catalyst to make continued highs, to make new continued highs, and that could be the tax reform bill, healthcare, whatever Donald Trump's trying to do, he's not doing. Nothing is happening. So we shall see. It'll see. When does the market participant say, okay, guys, nothing has happened since November and we're at all-time highs again. Something's not right here. Let me get out of some stock. And what happens is, and we talked about this, retail are doing it themselves, buying ETFs and getting out of their managed money accounts, okay? That's not a good sign, because when it does roll over, retail does not know how to get out, right? They just keep buying the dip, and then all of a sudden the dip doesn't come back anymore and wipes out all of their accounts, okay? So this is a big warning sign for me. Unless we start taking out this key pivotal high, the swing high here of the NYUD, and start to move higher, along with price and along with some key indexes, which I'll show you again, then that is my clue to say get ready, because the top is really close. It's still early, but I just want to show you this big warning sign here. All right, next is going to be the ES, and there's that bull flag we were talking about. You can see that in the cash. We're still stuck within the range here. So we had a big gap up, another gap up, and most of the gaps were all of the gains were on the opening. Very little movement afterwards, but we do have our MACD long buy signal, RSI buy signal. So where do we go from here? Well, I think we need to back and fill a little bit, maybe even come back in here, clean up this this gap fill, which I'm going to mark, but I'm not going to do it just yet, and see if we can move higher again, taking out that swing high. If we do that, that'll give us more momentum. That will more stronger price action to the upside. Okay. Anyway, the 2400 is your high. 27, 30, 78, 75 is going to be your support for today on the daily chart. And Q, pretty much the same inside day. You can see here, 54.83 is going to be your area. You could see we've already reached overbought in 3 days. It's pretty crazy stuff. I mean, literally, absolutely insane. But excuse me, these are your levels for today's trade, and I think you want to keep an eye on a lot of the big cap tech too. Get some clues from there. See where we go. Meaning that where price is taking the Amazons, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Teslas, the high beta names, and see if they're supporting what the Qs and the NQ are doing. Okay, but again, the ultimate high will be yesterday's high. Okay, that's going to be here, and then of course the low, and then we got a little bit of gap here, and we got a gap fill from down here. They both need to close at one point. Okay. Next is going to be crude oil. Really didn't do much. You could see here we had another inside day, just sitting underneath the old gap area, which is now going to be resistance. But look what's happening. We unwound all of this overbought reading. We're still on a sell signal with MACD. RSI trying to cross back up again. If we get above here, again, the target would be the TMT lower and upper proprietary price channels. And let's see if we can get close to this area here where we can possibly enter another short, creating another lower high from this previous high, from this previous high, from this previous high. Okay, but these are your levels for today's trade. Gold, GC, you can see here, 1251.30. That's going to be your price. Again, hasn't gone anywhere. Yesterday, none of the asset classes really moved. Okay, these are your big clusters here in your daily chart. These are valid for today's trade. And again, we talked about GDX. Why not getting long? We did make now, as of right now, with this hammer here, we did make a higher low from this previous low. Okay, it depends. You want to call it a double bottom. It really isn't. It didn't get quite there, but it's very close to price. This needs to hold. Okay, the 21.35 needs to hold. If that does not hold, she'll flush right back down to the 19.30, and then we need to reevaluate it, because right now we're calling a second stage bull market here in gold, and gold is notorious for taking out all the longs. And remember, we said don't get long gold just yet. Remember, we were up here because GDX is not following suit, and we had to have 25.80 has to get taken out right here in order for GDX to alleviate any downside pressure. Okay, all right. So that's what I'm looking for here. But they're setting up nicely. The markets are setting up nicely for a nice big move. ZB, which is the bonds, you can see same thing, right? Usually bonds and gold, they follow itself. You can see that we pull back. Now we're holding up TMT price channels here. We need to hold this. If we can hold it, then take the swing high out here, then we have a great long trade to get long for a gap area fill here. And then from there, we would reevaluate it to make sure that that it starts to fail again and we move lower. Remember, we're in an interest rate rising environment, and I think that it's here to stay. Bonds have ended a bull market run for the last 30 years, so any big rallies and then fail is going to be a great shorting opportunity. And so and for those of you who do swing trading, which obviously you subscribe to, I would definitely, no question about it, start looking for these areas here when the time comes. Next is going to be TLT, and you can see here we went back into the zone again. So TLT even weaker than the ZB itself. 200-day needs to get taken out. That's the bottom line. 125. 125 will get us the gap area resistance. Okay, and these are your levels for today's trade. Spiders, and remember, guys, you're talking. Subscribing to the daily strategy videos is $15. That's 50 cents a day, and the Pro Trader Premier video, which is bar none, our algorithm spits out key areas of support resistance to trade off of. It's insane, and that's like less than $2 a day. And if you really want to take your trading to the next level, you take a look at our trading room, which has our algorithm running, our alert room, or the algorithm itself on your computer. All right, doing it automatic. Take a look at it, guys. The system is great. It's doing fantastic. Our subs are doing great, making money. So something that you might want to consider. And any questions, send an email out to support@tradingmarkettechnicals.com. We'll always get back to you. Spiders, you can see here another inside day. These are your levels for today, resistance, support. Okay, but it wouldn't surprise me if we back test this upward trend line of this symmetrical triangle and then start to move higher. IYT. Here's another culprit, which I'm not, and this is okay, but you could see here that now the transports didn't even hold. We had an outside day. Markets traded outside of its previous 2 days, which the other indices did not. This is our leader, and all of a sudden, now the leader just lost a little momentum here. Let's see. It's a gap fill. It's right behind top of the upper trend line of this downtrend line. So let's see if this can hold and start to resume its uptrend. But it's gonna need to take this area out here, 168.10. Okay. IWM had an outside day and gave it all back to close within the range from the previous day. 141.80, that's going to be your area of resistance. You got two small gaps that's going to need to get filled too as well. 140.21 is going to be your first area of support. Next area is going to be 139.30, and then we would reevaluate from here. Again, I don't want to put all these lines and everything. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of it, point them out to you for today's trade. Okay. Next and last is going to be the Qs. Again, Qs had an inside day, but these are your areas. Say 133.60 is the bigger area of support. Next area 134.50, and then next area 134.30. So that's going to be your next play for today. Next is going to be your resistance, going to be yesterday's high. Okay. All right, guys. Hope it helps. Come check us out at tradingmarkettechnicals.com. I'm telling you, we have a great product. This is bar none. We have amazing algorithm that is really kicking butt. So come check us out, tradingmarkettechnicals.com. See you later. We'll have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.